What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of AST, Alex's Sports Talk Show. Today I'm going to be breaking down the NBA free agents and where some of the top names are going to be landing. I decided to choose 9 players out of this pool. There is 40% of the NBA in free agency this year. So the NBA is going to be completely different next year than it was this year. So it's going to be very exciting. I'm excited to talk about this today. Let's get into this. I will be talking about Kawhi Leonard, some of the places he could be landing, Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker, Klay Thompson, D'Angelo Russell, Tobias Harris, and JJ Redick. Yes, it's going to be quite some interesting names this season. Let's get into this. Okay, first one. Kawhi Leonard just won a championship with the Raptors and could potentially re-sign again. I've heard a couple other teams that could be involved in getting him. I know that he is a meeting with the Raptors, Clippers, Lakers, and the Knicks are trying to get a meeting as well. I know that the top contenders for Kawhi Leonard right now are the Clippers, Knicks, and Raptors, but I think it's going to be the Clippers and the Raptors who are going to be his two franchises he'll be looking at because Kawhi is a South Cali player. It's where he grew up, and he would love to, play for his hometown and whatnot. But at the same time, you look at the Raptors. Marc Gasol just picked up his player option. I think it was like $23 million. So most of that team is going to be coming back, and if you have almost all the team coming back, why wouldn't you not just re-sign and compete for the, finals trophy once again? Plus, in Toronto, you have a whole nation of Canada behind you, plus the whole Kawhi Wine and Dine, or the Kawhi and Dine, where he goes out in the town in Toronto and he can just eat almost anywhere he wants. Like, this whole franchise, the city is behind Kawhi, and I see it hard for him leaving. But at the same time, Clippers are another option as well because he's a South Cali kid. But I think he's going to stay in Toronto and play for another chip. A chip with some dip, as Drake would say. So, Kawhi to the Raptors. Now we're going to be talking about Kevin Durant, the other top prospect in free agency this year. I've been watching Get Up and First Take and a couple other sports talk shows. The Herd is another one. And they're all saying that KD is going to the Nets with Kyrie, who I'll talk about in a couple minutes. But Kevin Durant is going to be signing with Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Nets, not the New York Knicks like everyone thought they were. The Nets just cleared up cap space before they can sign 2 max contracts. I don't think they're going to keep D'Angelo Russell with Kyrie being a strong possibility for them. Kevin Durant declined his Warriors option, which was $31.5 million. Other teams that can sign him, Golden State, Clippers, Knicks, and Nets. I think it's going to be the Nets. I would also think that he could possibly re-sign with Golden State just because of the word doubt. If he doubts he can be the same player he was before this Achilles injury, then I don't think he would be leaving. But if he is leaving, which I think that he will be, it just goes to show that this guy Kevin Durant has still so much in the tank to give and to prove. Plus, if he brought a championship to the Knicks or the Nets, whichever one he chooses, that really would solidify his legacy for leaving OKC and going to the Warriors for some championships. Going to be very interesting. However, Kevin Durant to the Nets, locking it in. Going into another top free agent, Jimmy Butler of the 76 Sixers. That he's going to re-sign with Philly on a 5-year max deal. There's been recent talks of the Rockets really trying to pursue Jimmy Butler and trying to do this sign and trade type of deal. They put Clint Capella, PJ Tucker, and Eric Gordon up for on their trade block essentially, and they're just trying to clear up cap space so they can pair him with CP3 and James Harden with Mike D'Antoni. However, I do not like that. I think it is a terrible idea because all 3 of these guys have quite a character. Jimmy Butler is very emotional, very raw, and takes winning seriously and is all about trying to compete for championships. CP3, CP3 has been in the league a long year. We all know what CP3 is about. And then James Harden, who's a very passive-aggressive guy, and definitely demands the ball a lot. So if you have three guys who are all demanding the ball, I feel like one day it's just going to blow up in practice. Just their egos and personalities and characteristics of themselves just colliding. And yeah, it's a huge risk with some potential. Not a whole lot of potential, but just a little bit of potential. I just don't think it's worth it. Plus, you're getting rid of like your whole bench, essentially. And we just saw in this finals that if you want to win the championship, you have to have a good bench. Otherwise, what's the point in competing? Plus, like, for Jimmy Butler, he's got it made in Philadelphia. You get to play with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, both great young guys, both superstars. But they're not the guys taking the last shots of the game. When he got traded from the Timberwolves to the Sixers, they were calling his number a lot to take big shots, game-winning shots, in fact. And what did he do? He delivered. So not only does he get to be the go-to guy in the fourth quarter, but he also gets to demand the ball and actually get his usage up and to what he wants to do. So Jimmy Butler, I think, is going to re-sign with the Sixers. Okay, Kyrie Irving now. So what did we just talk about with Kevin Durant? That he's going to go sign with the Nets with Kyrie. Yes, he declined his Celtics player option. I think it was like 21 to 23 million, just like Marc Gasol's, and he declined it, and now he's going to go play for the Nets. It's one of his teams he liked when he was younger, and it just kind of brings him back closer to home. Don't count out the Knicks quite yet, I would say. You never know. But Nets, I'm going to have to go Nets. It looks like a pretty strong option with the Nets. But you really never know. We won't know till Sunday. That's when free agency starts. So it's going to be interesting, but who knows. But Kyrie, for me, to the Nets. Klay Thompson now, another Warriors guy. The Warriors would be not in the right mind not to sign this guy. This dude is one of the stars of your team. He's one of the Splash Bros. It would be weird for him not to be see him not in the Warriors jersey. He did miss out on $30 million though for not making All-NBA team, which is crazy. I think he dropped a 50-point game. He might have dropped two 50-point games. Klay Thompson, I think he's going to get a 5-year, $191 million, and he deserves every dime and every cent of that contract for what he's done for this organization. However, if Klay Thompson specifically stated if he does not get the max deal, he's going to take a meeting with the Clippers, and the Clippers might offer him that instead. Clippers are on a lot of people's radar right now. The Clippers are into Tobias Harris, Klay Thompson, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and a bunch of other guys. So I think they're also going to try and make their way for Jimmy Butler as well, just trying to get out as many offers as they can to compete with the Lakers for championships. Lakers have 16 championships. Clippers have 0. Fun fact for you all. So Klay Thompson to the Golden State Warriors still. That would be stupid for them not to sign him, especially with Kevin Durant leaving. But Klay Thompson will be back. He tore his ACL. He will be back after the All-Star break. You heard it here first. Alex Thompson, AST, YouTube, right here. Boom. Next K-name. This is a lot of K-names. We have Kemba Walker. It was stated today, this morning, that the Celtics are now a strong front runner for Kemba. It was reported last night that Michael Jordan sat down with Kemba and they couldn't really reach mutual agreement, or because Kemba is going to stay if he gets the max, but Michael Jordan does not want to give the max because yes, Kemba Walker is an all-star guy. He's a great competitor. However, his size does hinder him a little bit in his defensive skills. But offensively, he's a guy to watch out for. He's very underrated, but that's because he's been on the Hornets his whole career. So here's my thing for Kemba Walker. This is what I got to take into consideration if I'm Kemba Walker. I can either stay in Charlotte, get almost the max amount of deal, and compete for the 7th or 8th seed in the East for the next few years, or I can kind of take a pay cut. I can go to like the Celtics, the Knicks, the Lakers, the Mavericks even. Take a pay cut, contend for championships, which is a lot of what players want to do. Or you go get that bag, It's all about, the money. If you're about it, then you're about it. But at the same time, if you take that pay cut, you can just do sponsorships and endorsements to kind of make up that money. But I think that Kemba, with Kyrie leaving, it's hard to see the Celtics not signing Kemba Walker. It's weird. Yeah, Kemba to the Celtics, so that was pretty interesting. But I like the Mavs too. Pair him up with Luka and Kristaps Porzingis. I heard Al Horford could be joining the Clippers or the Mavs, but if he goes to the Mavs, that's a great little team right there. Moving to another young guy, one of my favorite Ohio State alumni, D'Angelo Russell. Yes, ex-Laker, number 2 overall, taken in the draft in 2015, is now on the Nets and could possibly get replaced by Kyrie Irving. So if the Nets sign Kyrie, I think that D'Angelo Russell needs to leave, and there's 3 options for him to go. He can go to the Timberwolves, the Suns, or the Lakers. He can go to the Timberwolves and play with young stars Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns, get plenty of playing time, get plenty of shots and all that, and could potentially next couple of years kind of be getting up into that 5 to 6 seeded in the West. If he goes to the Suns, though, he's playing with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, 2 young guys. That's a good, you have PG, shooting guard, in the center. Now you just need a couple wing guys, and that's a good-looking squad. 3 or 4 years, you're looking pretty good, especially with all these really good aged players now about to be heading out of the league soon. That's going to open up for the Suns to kind of slide right in there. And then the last one, the Lakers. I think that Lakers reunion with D'Angelo Russell is really needed and really nice, because the roster for the Lakers is very small. Here's the roster, their main roster: LeBron, Kyle Kuzma, Anthony Davis. They got 12 other spots to fill up. So especially with D'Angelo Russell, you're not going to be paying a full Supermax contract, so you still have cap space to sign bench and role players. However, you are going to get a guy whose three-point shot is great, can create his own shot, and is another ball handler that can go with LeBron. So I think that D'Angelo Russell should go back to Lakers and play with some of his favorite players in LeBron and the Brow, Anthony Davis. All right, moving to the sharpshooter out of Duke now, J.J. Redick. 3 teams I've heard that are interested. I feel like all the stars have 3 teams interested in them, you know what I'm saying? But for J.J. Redick, 3 main teams, I got Lakers, Philly, and Nets for them. The Lakers, the Lakers took a route last year, unlike the Cavs did 2 years ago, of shooters. The Lakers went playmakers around LeBron, so it's not just LeBron handling the ball anymore, and we found out that was not the serum that is the best for them. LeBron needs shooters around him, and what better way to get a shooter than J.J. Redick, a 50, 40, 90 guy. 50% from the field, 40% to 50% from the 3, and 90% from the free throw. This just really helps their free throw for Lakers too, because they were struggling bad, really bad, the worst in the NBA for free throw percentage. They were at a 62, 64% as a team. Yeah, as a team. Horrendous. So I think J.J. Redick would be great on the Lakers. It's going to be hard to see him leaving the Sixers too, because I feel like at this point in his career, he wants to contend for championships. I feel like he's gotten his money at this point in his career. Now he wants to start getting accolades and jewelry and trophies. And what better way than to play for the team you just were on? Where if that shot that Kawhi took in the semifinals against them, the Sixers, we'd be looking at the Sixers versus the Bucks, and I think that the Sixers could have beat the Bucks, and then it would have been Sixers and Warriors, and then who even knows, the Sixers might have won up as the championships, just if that bounce took a different, or just if that Kawhi shot took a different bounce. They were 1 win away from going to the conference finals in the East and going against a very interesting team in Milwaukee. But I just think that Philly would be a great place to stay. He thrives in Philly, and then he could also go to the Nets as well, be a shooter with Kyrie and Kevin Durant, just creating more offense for them. Out of those three teams, I'm leaning towards Lakers and Philly, and then if I were to choose Lakers and Philly, I'd probably choose the Philadelphia Sixers. It's hard to see him leave. He's got great chemistry already with the team and the staff there, so it's hard to see him kind of leave that scenario. So J.J. Redick to the Sixers, locking it in. Moving to the last free agent on the list for today. Guess what? Another 76ers, Tobias Harris out here. I label him as a B free agent. So he's not a top-tier free agent, but he's a second-tier free agent. Still very good, though. Great offensive weapon. However, recently he's been struggling defensively. It looks like he can guard the 1 through 4, maybe even the 5. But recently he can barely even guard the 3, if the 4 for that matter. But he can give you great buckets if your offense is stagnant. He's gonna give you some points to kind of reignite you again. But it's definitely hard to say where he can land, especially with the choice with the Sixers. Do you sign Jimmy Butler or do you sign Tobias Harris? If I were the Sixers, I would sign Jimmy Butler. Then you could try and sign Tobias Harris on a smaller contract and be like, look, man, we're going to give you all that we can. I know it's not going to be like other teams offering you some max deals, but if you play for us, we're here to contend for championships. You saw what we did last year in a span of 20, 30 games. Imagine what we can do with a whole season with each other. So Philly's an option. I've heard the Pacers are an option, teaming up with Oladipo and Miles Turner. So now you have a great two-way player in Oladipo at the 2. Tobias can play the 3 or the 4. And then now you have Miles Turner at the 5, who's going to be a rebounding rim protector of some sort. So that could be an interesting case there. And then I've also heard the Clippers are trying to get back in the Tobias Harris mix after trading him. That'd be kind of crazy if the Clippers landed, because the Clippers traded him and Bojan Marjanovic and Mike Scott to the Sixers. In return, they got Landry Shamet, one other guy, and a first-round pick, if not 2 first-round picks. And if they could just re-get that guy that they traded, that is an ultimate cheese move, if you ask me. But I'm really unsure about Tobias Harris. Like, that's probably the one guy I don't know, and that's why I have him last, because he's the most intriguing, because I feel like there's just a big old question mark right next to where he can land, because he can literally land on any team and make them just a little bit better. I feel like he can fit almost into any scheme or any team. If he went to the Trailblazers, I think that'd be great, because now the weight's not all on Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. Now you have Tobias Harris and Nurkic coming back from injury. That's a pretty good lineup right there in itself. Or if you throw him on the Pacers too, that can make the Pacers competitive again. If you put him on the Knicks, that's great leadership for Kevin Knox. But I don't think that the Knicks are going to get him, because the Knicks want to target high-profile free agents like Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving or even Kawhi Leonard, who they're trying to pursue, but I don't think they're going to get him. But Tobias Harris, man, that's a good question. I'm not sure, but you guys should let me know where Tobias Harris should go. Drop a comment, hit that like and subscribe button for me. I'm Alex Thompson. Thanks for watching. Peace.